So water changes. Why do we need to do water changes? What benefits do the fish get out of doing water changes for them? We're just stepping back from when we showed our last video talking about cycling your tank. This one's a follow-on, just a general maintenance of why we do water changes for our fish and if it benefits the fish in any way. So these questions and more will be answered very shortly. Hi everybody, welcome back to Blue Fin Aquatics, where we share our knowledge and experience with you. So going from our intro, we were talking about water changes and generally maintenance and a bit of the cycling of the tank, which we mentioned in our last video. This one's a general sort of like maintenance, if you like, to do the follow-up from cycling your tank. So when we talk about water changes, what do we actually mean? Why do we do them? You know, is it benefit for your fish? Do the fish appreciate you doing the water changes? All these questions that we ask and why we do them. So we're going to go and bust a few myths in regards to why you need to do them, and the best way to do that is looking at your fish. Your fish themselves will tell you exactly what's wrong, and they're not feeding right, or they're not feeling well, they're sitting at the top or they're sitting on the bottom of the tank. Now, if you do seem to come across something like this, you can do two things. You can test your water to see if the nitrates and the nitrites or the ammonia has spiked in some way, or what we do immediately here, if we see something like that, we just basically do a 50% water change, and we'll let that settle for about half an hour, and then we'll basically look at the fish again just to see how they are. So the benefits of doing a 50% water change when you suspect there is something in the water that could be harming a fish, we'll break that down by half. But on the maintenance side of things, if there's nothing wrong with your tank and your fish seem to be okay, well, then basically what you do is you do a 25% water change and do it weekly. And the reason behind that is because the fish themselves, they defecate in that water and so forth. The chemical reactions in the tank with regards to the ammonia more so, or your nitrites will rise, which is the harmful side of the water chemistry, which will hurt your fish. So basically doing your 25% water change every week will generally help you keep your fish in good health. So from that, you'll be able to tell, and if you know your fish very well and they're out of sorts, do your 25% water change, and then you'll see the very difference in them once you've added that water in there, because whatever it is in there, it dilutes down. And if you can do 35, that's totally up to you. And again, of course, it depends on the fish that you do have. So when we do our 25% water changes, we do all our tanks. We do them once a week, right through all the over 100 tanks. But generally, with the little juveniles or the ones who are growing up, we generally give them two basic water changes, purely because the fact is that we're feeding them that little bit more. We feed our fish, you know, once, twice a day, but with our juveniles, we generally feed those about 3 or 4 times. So the water itself is going to get dirty a lot quicker. So we do 2 lots of water changes for our juveniles. But all along, when you look at your fish there, they're a good source of telling you exactly what's wrong. And the immediate action like we do is do your 50% water change. And if everything seems to be okay, then do your 25% water change. But also don't forget, you've got to vacuum the bottom too to get a lot of those feces out of the rocks or the sand, depending on what your substrate is. So going along from that, we hope you learned something out of this video. Yes, it's a short video, but we thought we'd just put the two together, cycling and also doing a water change and just a general maintenance. So if you got something out of the videos I mentioned, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in our next video.